Stop touching your willy. This is the habit that separates the boys from the men. NoFap. For the next 2 days, the next 3 days, the next week, if you are able to stick to not watching any pornography, to not caving in to your lust, and to not masturbate, if you are able to retain for the gains and to not bust for lust, I guarantee you that you will see noticeable improvements. NoFap is a practice that I carry throughout my life. The first thing that I've noticed was that you begin to speak to a woman in a more confident way. This happens for 3 reasons. The first is you stop pedestalizing women, and therefore you speak to them as equals instead of worshipping them as divine figures that reject or accept you. Secondly, I found it far easier to hold eye contact with a woman. Not only does this make her feel more heard and engaged with in the conversation, but it's also a great technique for building attraction and respect, being able to hold eye contact comfortably. The third thing I've noticed was posture. Posture's a big one. Women have this natural landmine sweeper that surveys all the men that approach her or talk to her or swipe right on her Tinder or like her Instagram. She has this minesweeper where she's able to say, wow, this guy stands tall. He speaks confidently. He's able to look in the eye. He's live. He is virile. He's not this mopey, looking to the floor, poorly postured, sitting at his desktop kind of guy. I've noticed strength gains, physique gains, confidence gains. I find myself to be more productive. I find myself to get out of bed earlier, to be able to focus for a longer amount of times without getting distracted. If you were to take all the time that you've spent practicing being good at masturbating and watching porn, if you took all that time and you put it elsewhere, I'm sure you'd be able to get real girls. And this is not to judge. I've struggled with it in the past as well. This is not to judge. And believe me, you're not going to be able to quit and go cold turkey forever. You will relapse, and that is okay. It's the same as starting a diet. You're not going to just say, oh, I watched a motivational video, now I'm going to eat clean forever. It doesn't work that way. You're going to relapse, no matter what you do. If you're trying it, you're going to relapse. But what separates the boys from the men is a boy will relapse on his diet or on NoFap. and he will say, oh, I failed, so it's not for me, I might as well not try. Whereas a man will relapse and say, you know what, I went a week, and although I failed, that is 1 week of effort that I would not have done either way. So I might as well keep going. But no one wants to accept the negative emotion you feel when you relapse on a diet or on NoFap. So they will tell themselves that they haven't failed. They'll be like, oh, it's not for me. Let me just keep watching porn, keep masturbating, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week. But if you're able to say, okay, let's go a month. Let's go for a month and let's take myself seriously. Oh wow, I was able to go without it for 5 days. Victory. I was able to eat clean for 3 days. That's a victory. Then maybe the next month you were able to eat clean for a whole week. But do not judge yourself. If you judge yourself, you will fail, because you are going to relapse. It is impossible to build some sort of discipline is a habit, and it's impossible to build some sort of concrete discipline in a day from watching one motivational video or whatnot. Like, you're going to fail, you're going to relapse. But the difference is that when you relapse, how do you treat yourself afterwards?